Yo, what's up ladies and gentlemen? You just caught me in the middle of my exercise routine. Now you may be wondering why I'm even doing this, and that is because, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to take on my biggest challenge. Quite literally. Because in today's video, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take on the entire fat acceptance movement. I honestly don't know why this phrase even exists in the English lexicon, but hey, this is a very complex world full of very deluded people. It is what it is. So I'm pretty sure by now, a lot of you may have heard of the think before you sleep versus Illymation situation, but for those of you who are not terminally online, which is like 0.7% of my audience, let me give you a quick rundown. Basically, Think Before You Sleep, who is a very popular right-wing commentary YouTuber, made a critique of a video that Illymation made titled Perks of Being the Fat Kid. Now in that video, Illymation goes over how she was bullied as a child for being chubby and basically is trying to use her life story in order to convince people that diet culture and weight loss culture is bad and body positivity and fat acceptance is good. Really? While I'm recording the video? Come on. I swear, I'm selling you to a Korean guy after this. I don't think you need to have a bachelor's degree in order to understand why childhood obesity is a very big problem. I think just looking at the CDC website will tell you everything you need to know. What the hell? But anyways, after this, Think Before You Sleep released his own response to the video titled A Fat Acceptance Cartoon, and this resulted in one of the most pointless and stupidest beefs I have ever seen on YouTube, where Illymation tried to mobilize her fans to mass report Think Before You Sleep's video for cyberbullying and harassment, despite the fact that she never even saw the video herself and only relied on what her friend told her about the video and his own interpretation of it. And in response to Illymation being a complete lobotomite who cannot take criticism, some of Think Before You Sleep's more mentally retarded fans decided to dox her. And more recently, Think Before You Sleep's video actually got removed on the basis of cyberbullying and harassment accusations, which I think is just plainly stupid because nowhere in the video does he do any of these things. But they actually brought the video back up some time ago, so that's great, I guess. You fixed a problem that never needed to be fixed in the first place. But what I wanted to talk about here is a video that the YouTuber Noah Samsen made on this situation titled Think Before You Dox. Now, something you should know about Noah Samsen is that he had actually beefed with Think Before You Sleep in the past, so I can assume without a doubt that this video is gonna be impartial and not gonna take any sides and make any partisan arguments. Right?
On December 21st of last year, the storytime animation YouTuber Illymation released a video called Perks of Being the Fat Kid. 2 months later, the anti-woke YouTube channel Think Before You Sleep, hereafter referred to as Sean, hi Sean, responded to Illy's video in a video titled Fat Acceptance Cartoon. Right after Sean posted this response, the comment section on Illy's video went through some changes. It was flooded with hate comments, threats, insults, inflammatory accusations, also a lot of anti-Semitism, so that's kind of weird.
Now right in the first minute here, Noah seems to pin the blame on Think Before You Sleep for the harassment that Illymation got in her video comments. Now, I personally believe that creators should not be responsible for their fans, because I believe that humans are rational beings, they are capable of their own independent actions and thought, and if a person watches a video made by a creator criticizing another creator, and then that person decides to go into that creator's comment section and write mean stuff, that means that person acted independently out of their own free will. It's not like that person was brainwashed to go out and harass his creator. Like, what kind of hypodermic needle theory bullshit is this? Like, unless that content creator openly mobilizes their fans to go and spam mean stuff in their comment section, I don't think they can be blamed for what their fans say and do.
When one of her followers reached out on Tumblr to ask if she'd seen the video, Illy replied, and after expressing frustration about the harassment she was receiving, she ended the post by asking her followers to report the video.
That's it, by the way. That's how much time this guy dedicates to talking about Illymation, openly encouraging her fans to mass report Think Before You Sleep's video. Hey Noah, I don't think you realize this, but this is actually a way bigger deal than you make it out to be, because not only is Illymation doing something incredibly scummy, but she's also violating YouTube TOS. The following restrictions apply to your use of the service. You are not allowed to, number 7, misuse any reporting, flagging, complaint, dispute, or appeals process, including by making groundless, vexatious, or frivolous submissions. This is literally that meme format of I sleep and then at the bottom real shit, but it's just way more retarded.
In response to this one Tumblr post, Sean made a whole new video, Woke YouTuber is Trying to Deplatform Me, in which he accused Illy of leading a campaign of targeted harassment
campaign
and mass flagging
mass flagging campaign against me. Mass flagging campaign. Mass flag his channel. Mass flagging. Mass flagging
against him and his smaller channel.
Deplatform a smaller creator. Harass a much smaller creator
in order to deplatform him.
Deplatform me. To try and get me deplatformed.
And take away his source of income.
Take away my source of income.
I get what he's doing. He's putting all these crybaby faces in order to make Think Before You Sleep look infantile, but he just ends up looking like a huge dick. Yeah, Noah, would you know it? Encouraging mass reporting on false premises can be considered deplatforming by the person on the receiving end. Wow, what a shocker. I could have never seen that coming.
The only evidence he has provided for any of these accusations is that one Tumblr post.
Because that's all the evidence you need in this situation, you fucking lobotomite. Like, what more does this guy need? Does he need a voice recording of Illymation going, yes, I will mass report this guy's video and get him banned from YouTube because he said something I don't like? I feel like my brain is slowly being clouded by a fog, a very radioactive and toxic fog that is slowly killing off all of my brain cells.
This new video from Sean brought Illy even more
targeted harassment,
which culminated in her receiving death threats, rape threats, and being doxxed. For her safety, she was forced to leave her home state, breaking the lease on her apartment, which cost her over $10,000 in legal fees. Sean, meanwhile, made out with a slightly better deal: 3 videos, 2.3 million views, 40,000 new subscribers, and a big stack of Google AdSense money.
Yes, Noah, I get what you're trying to say. Doxing someone is bad. But once again, we have to remember, creators are not responsible for their fans. I'm actually starting to become convinced that this guy does indeed believe in the hypodermic needle theory, which is like one of the stupidest things ever conceived by mankind, apart from microtransactions in video games. Just because these more extreme and schizophrenic fans who should not even be allowed to own an internet router went out of their way to harass that creator does not mean that Think Before You Sleep is responsible for their actions. Not only did he never encourage his fans to harass Illymation in his videos, but he also said in a tweet after this that this should have never happened. Also, I gotta turn the fucking AC because it's getting pretty hot here.
Mean comments are inevitable. Even if you ask people not to, they'll still leave them. If people are going to take things too far, like doxing, then there's not much you can really do to stop it. This seems to be Sean's perspective on the matter.
This comment brigading behavior appears to just be a fact of nature that creators can't control. So really, it's on YouTube to make an interface change that addresses this problem.
The only real exemption from this excuse seems to be when a creator directly asks their audience to harass or dox someone. If that doesn't happen though, then sorry, it's the internet. Now, while that may be the case in some situations, this is not one of them. Sean didn't ask anyone to dox or harass Illy. What he did do, though, is misrepresent and deceptively edit her video in order to conjure ideas which directly motivated the people who did. And when I say directly, I mean directly.
So just because Think Before You Sleep framed the topic of the video in a certain way, that means he directly encourages fans to go and harass Illymation? Like, I'm sorry, but have you taken complete leave of your senses and connection to reality? I hate to repeat myself once again here, but it was the delusional fans' decision to go out and harass Illymation. If Think Before You Sleep did not encourage it, then he had no part in it, therefore it's not his fault.
We doxed Illy because she tried to get another popular content creator, Think Before You Sleep, taken down by YouTube, all because he made a video rightfully criticizing her. She is also promoting fat culture and how being fit and working out your body is useless and fat-phobic. She also promotes that's an anti-trans slur, and woke culture. That was posted on the website that hosted Illy's doxing information.
Notice, by the way, how that text says because he made a video rightfully criticizing her. He didn't harass her, he didn't call on his fans to harass her and dox her, he simply criticized her. So clearly, there is no connection between Think Before You Sleep and these complete schizophrenics.
One of the main concluding points of Sean's video is that Illy's advice is going to kill people by causing them to eat themselves into an early grave.
You know what's great about this advice? Because you conflated being overweight with extreme obesity, so you could say that both are healthy, what's going to happen is that people who watch this video that are 300 pounds are going to say, see, Alyssa is fine with being overweight, I don't have to change either. And then they'll eat themselves into an early grave.
Note that it's not just it might happen, he said that it's going to happen. So it's sort of a direct accusation there.
Now, why would that be the case, I wonder? Maybe it's because eating too much unhealthy food, which results in obesity, results in things like coronary heart disease and diabetes, which actually kill people? No, it can't be. It's gotta be right-wing propaganda. I mean, look at this bullshit. Carrying extra fat leads to serious health consequences such as cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, musculoskeletal disorders such as osteoarthritis, and some cancers. Ew! What the fuck are you, fatphobic? I bet you don't like black people as well.
Now, that's a pretty serious accusation, right? So how does he justify it? Well, right before it, he presents what he calls Illy's final piece of advice and uses that as evidence to argue that she is promoting obesity.
All right, let's see Alyssa's final piece of advice.
A carrot isn't an inherent good food, while chocolate is an inherent bad food. Food is just food. No matter how many calories, carbs, sugars, you should feel free to eat whatever food you want to without beating yourself up about it.
I'm sorry, but that is just the biggest load of twaddle I have ever heard in my 20 years on this planet. I mean, chocolate is not an inherently bad food. You can have it as part of your daily diet. I mean, why would you want to have carrots? That is cringe. They look like dicks. I mean, if you have chocolate as part of your daily diet, you might die in 5 years because of high blood sugar levels, but hey, it's perfectly fine. Eat what you want. Just be happy.
So one thing I noticed in Sean's video is that there's a funny cut when he shows this clip. Right after the line, no matter how many calories, carbs, and sugars, the video skips just a bit. The s'more changes hands, the boy's blood sugar monitor, that's what this is, it just sort of appears on the chair. There's a break in continuity. So I went back to Illy's actual video and see if you can spot what he decided to cut from this sequence.
No matter how many calories, carbs, sugars, whatever is in it. Unless you have life-threatening allergies or dietary restrictions to follow, you should feel free to eat whatever food you want to without beating yourself up about it.
So immediately before she says that fated line, eat whatever you want, she added a caveat. She said, unless you have life-threatening allergies or dietary restrictions to follow.
Okay, yes, I can agree with that. Cutting out that part does remove an important bit of context. However, this does not negate the fact that the overall message of the video seems to be very leaning towards the fat acceptance camp, and there are multiple clips that show this, which I'm about to play right now.
Teenagers should be focused on getting good grades, hanging out with their friends, and seeing the Timothée Chalamet Willy Wonka movie. Not counting calories. Why are kids so body conscious? Why are they getting bullied? Who is teaching them this? We've been told our entire lives that you can't be healthy if you're fat. Yet, here I am, at the heaviest I've ever been in my entire life, categorically overweight and well within middle school mocking range, but also the healthiest I've ever been, according to multiple doctors.
So even though in that segment she's talking about dietary restrictions and allergies, the overall message of the video is still normalizing being fat. Now obviously I don't care if somebody eats Oreos, that's perfectly fine by me. I myself, like a little bit of a snack. But there is a huge difference between eating in moderation and eating in like mountain-sized portions. You can eat a pack of Oreos every couple of days, but you cannot eat like an entire box every single day, because that is just going to be incredibly unhealthy. That's like the whole argument that Think Before You Sleep is promoting here. Now, I'm not saying that people should take diet culture to the extreme and aim to look like a Minecraft skeleton, but what I am saying is that we should be more responsible with our food habits, because we can't just keep jugging Fantas and eating Big Macs and expect nothing to happen. Eventually, we're gonna reach a limit and we are gonna die of a horrible disease. So we should work to regulate our diet, including foods with lots of fats and sugars, so that we can live longer lives. This is for public good. This is not for like some dumb self-interest. This is so that people can be healthier and happier. God, I swear, after I'm done recording this video, I'm going to flush my head down the toilet. I will literally become Skibbity Toilet because my brain just been completely fried. I don't want to live on this planet anymore if people are promoting this complete retardation.
Along with Sean's conclusion that Illy's advice is going to kill people, he also claims that because of this sequence, the message of her video is that she endorses drug abuse.
Stop writing criticism off as malicious concern trolling when the ending message of your video was effectively, if you can't stop doing drugs, then drugs aren't bad, and you should take whatever drugs you want and as many drugs as you want.
This was yet another inflammatory statement that was mainlined into the beautiful working brains of the people harassing her.
Why did you just sell me drugs?
Next video, the perks of popping pills.
Should I be celebrated for my lifestyle choices? Gather round and cheer me on while I drink heavily 5 days a week. I'm an alcoholic, Accept me.
It's called equating something to something else, Noah, because essentially what Illymation was saying in that video could be said in the same way about drugs. Well, you know, it's fine, you know, eat whatever you want, you know, you shouldn't worry about it. Oh, you know, it's fine, take all the drugs you want, don't worry about it. Like, who cares if you die of an addiction in a couple of years? Like, you should be free to do whatever the fuck you want.
The severity of these accusations is then compounded by his immediate reminder to viewers that her audience is probably full of children.
Keep in mind that Alyssa's videos are clearly targeted at children based on the style of animation and the references and jokes she makes.
The implication here is that Illy's video may end up directly harming or possibly killing children. If we hold him to all the assertions he's made here, that's what the video is telling us. And then we remember his inclusion of children in the thumbnail and his later speculations about her child audience.
Considering that in this post you stated that your market is children, do you really think this is being a good role model?
Well, yes, if she has a kid audience, this is a very big problem because kids should not be encouraged to engage in unhealthy habits. That's just fucking common sense. And you know what's even funnier about all of this is that these same people like Noah would also be calling out corporations for putting unhealthy stuff in foods, but here they're defending a person who's promoting obesity and fat acceptance. Like, you know, why have you suddenly switched positions? Like, what happened, bro? Oh, wait, I think I got it. Could it be that in the past, Noah Samsen had beefed with Think Before You Sleep and had openly called him anti-woke, which according to him is the same as being Hitler? Could it be that? You know what, guys? I'll leave the answers up to you. And do you know what I find even funnier about this video? Is that it's sponsored by Ground News, which is like a website where you can see how different sides of the political spectrum cover news in order to prevent the spread of misinformation. So we literally have a partisan video, which is clearly biased towards a single side and contains quite a bit of misinformation promotion, sponsored by a company dedicated to fighting partisanship and misinformation. The fucking irony writes itself.
Oh great, now she's glorifying obesity. I'm not glorifying anything. My point is simple. Don't be a d to fat people. And don't use, I just care about their health, as an excuse. Being fat doesn't automatically mean someone is less healthy.
Being fat doesn't automatically mean someone is less healthy. Okay. People who have overweight or obesity compared to those with healthy weight are at an increased risk for many serious diseases and health conditions. These include all of these listed down there. So, Illymation, I'm sorry to say this, but you have just been community noted. Now, I know that I'm only like 1/3 of the way through the video, but honestly, I just cannot be bothered. Like, I'm gonna be here for hours, and I've got a bunch of other shit to do. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching all this video and for all of your support. Please subscribe, like, comment, turn notifications on. Please comment because it really helps me out in the algorithm. Also, join my Discord server and follow me on the cesspit known as Twitter. Also, please do not send any hate to Noah Samsen. I do not condone that and it's just unneeded. I don't make my videos to harass people. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.